Hi, and welcome back. Continues the series Hollywood movie title. Today we realize the Skyline animation. This project will be built entirely in Cinema 4D, in After Effects, with a little support in Photoshop. Open Cinema 4D, and in front view, open the Configure panel. In the back panel, import the image Skyline JPG. We set X with a value of 1920. And insert the Mode X tool. We set the medium alignment, and write Skyline. Open the font panel and select the font bank Gothic Medium. Set to 240 the measure, and align it to our reference. On horizontal spacing, insert the value =41. To work well, we have all the separate letters. With the active layer, press the C key on the keyboard. We align all the letters in our logo. For the Y letter, align only the central part of the letter. We'll change, then the shape. Drag the Y letter out of the group and disable visibility. Activate the path layer and activate the point selection. With the rectangle selection tool, select the top left of the letter and align with the reference image in 2 steps. We repeat the same procedure for the upper right. We insert the layer of the letter Y in the group, and activate the group layer. We open the perspective view and view the result. OK, change the depth of the letters, from 20 to 15. To positioning the logo in our scene, insert a new camera. Open the Render Settings panel, and insert the values 1920 to 800. Frame, on all frame. Stretch the timeline from 90 to 300. In the Coordinates panel of the camera, reset all the values to 0. Activate the camera. To see the result, we modify the Z position with a value of =1920. OK, perfect. We insert a new light. In the General panel, enter the intensity value, 250. And in the Coordinates panel, we insert the values Y, 330, Z, 34. In this way, we lit the lateral part of the extrusion. To improve the effect of light, we set the shadows on soft. We create the first black material and apply it to our logo. To apply the material only at the front, we write C1, inline selection. Create a new material, and in the color panel, activate a gradient texture. Change gradient type into DV. Insert a sequence of colors, black and white. You do not need a precise scheme, just alternate the two colors constantly 5 times. As we see, in perspective view, the gradient orientation is horizontal. To change orientation, activate the material layer, and go to projection, and select cylindrical mode. OK. Now it is correct. To animate this texture, go to Offset V, into 0 frame activate the first Khai frame. Let's go to frame 300 and activate the Khai frame with a value of 100. We see that the animation has the orientation towards the bottom. If you want to reverse it, just change the value from 100 to less 100. Open the Render Settings panel, and proceed with the render. QuickTime Movie and activate the Check Alpha channel. Initializing to best. Proceed with the rendering. OK, now open After Effects. We import our 3D logo and create a new composition, and renamed Nucleo FX. We insert new solid layer and rename it Nucleo. We apply a trapcode form effect. Open the basic form panel and enter the following values: 100, 100, 117, 10, 15, 1, 431, 112. Activate sphere layered. We insert a camera. We have created the Nucleo of circular shape. You can change the shape as you like. Enter the values of the camera. 470, 142, 175. Z rotation to 19 degrees. Open the particle panel and activate the type glow sphere. Feather to 100 and size to 12. Size random to 100. Transfer mode to normal. Open the fractal field panel and insert on displace less 4. Flow evolution to 12. In spherical field panel, on the sphere 1, insert the following values: strength 33, feather 0. Open the transform word panel, on Y rotation, in 0 frame, activate the first Khai frame. Scale to 95. The visibility by default. On motion blur panel, change the value from 8 to 17. Let's go to 242 frame and activate a keyframe on Y rotation with a value 270. View the result. Apply trap code shine. In the pre-process setting, enter the following values: threshold to 55, ray LENGHT to 10, detail to 0, and boost light 3. On colorize, activate electric preset. Lighten mode, with source opacity, to 17. View the result. This type of effect is bidimensional. To get a 3D effect, we must apply a script. Create a null object and make it a 3D layer. Modify the position coordinates to 970, 460, 17. X rotation to less 90. We apply the script on source point of the shine, pressing the Alt key on stop walk. Anchor the target to the position coordinates of the 3D null object layer. Follow the text files to insert the script. It is important to respect the name of the null object. Copy and paste the script inside Shine Effect. Wow! Very cool! You can change the movement of rays, moving null object. Select the part that you like. I chose from frame 152 to 242. And trim the composition. Drag the 3D logo above the nucleo you just created. To align the nucleo at the center of the logo, modify the center Z coordinates with Y from 431 to 410. We select the logo layer in the frame 3 and activates the first Khai frame on scale. Let's go to frame 7 and apply the value to 88. Let's go to frame 85 and insert the value 100. Then in frame 88 insert the value 110. View the result. We insert a new solid layer white and rename it Fractal Ambient. Apply an fractal noise effect. Dynamic progressive type. Contrast value to 90 and brightness to 4. We select overflow clip. In the transform panel, activate the keyframe on turbulence offset and change the values 160, 120. Activate keyframe, also on evolution. Drag these two keyframes at the start of the animation. Change the value of turbulence from 120 to 60 and evolution to 1. See the animation. Drag this layer above the nucleo layer. We set the nucleo layer Luma inverted mode. The result is very dark. To improve, change the scale value from 100 to 170. And opacity from 100 to 72. Duplicate the layer nucleo and modify in the basic form panel. Size X to 90. Size Z to 125. X and Y particles 15, 17. On shine effect, we modify the threshold value from 55 to 150 and boost light 3 to 0.3. Overlaps the layer in soft light mode. View the result. You can change the values to get the result you like. And opacity from 100 to 72. We proceed with the realization of the vertical lights in the logo. Duplicate the logo layer and apply star glow effect. In pre-process panel, modify the streak length with value 25 and boost light to 15. Let only the up and down values and clear the other. On color mappa with only one white color. Repeat also on color map B. Source opacity value is 0. Multiply overlay. This layer is set to lighten mode. View the result. Disable the visibility of this layer and create a new white solid layer. Rename it Fractal Vertical. We apply a fractal noise with the contrast value to 390 and vertical scale to 2125. We apply a keyframe on evolution with the value 7. Let's go to frame 1 and insert the keyframe with 4 and 135. View the result. Drag this layer to the center of two logo layers. Apply alpha matte. So we have created the animation of vertical lights. Create a new black solid layer, rename it Personal lens flowers. Create a new pre-compose. We get inside and insert the first blue solid layer. Blue light. RGB color value 27, 97, 255. We apply a circular mask, starting from the center. Setting the feather mask to 350. Create a new blue layer solid, and rename it the blue line, with height value to 17 pixel. RGB color 0, 92, 229. We apply a rectangular mask and activate a feather mask to 350. We apply a Gaussian blur effect. With a 17 value. We insert another blue solid with height value 3. RGB color 0, 246, 255. We apply a rectangular mask. Feather mask to 350. Finally, we create a white solid layer, white light. Height 800 pixel. Apply a circular mask. With feather mask to 72. Go back to the NucleoFX composition and setting this layer in add mode. OK. If we want to soften the white light in the center, we modify the white light feather mask from 72 to 120. And blue light from 350 to 500. Back in the NucleoFX composition, we can also change the opacity from 100 to 60. OK. Now we must align our lens flowers a little below the center of the logo. To complete, we create a new black solid layer, rename Horizon Particles. We make a pre-composed layer. Let's go inside and apply an CC particle word effect. Disable the grid and insert the following values: 1, 7 and 1, 15. Producer, by default. On Physics panel, modify animation on jet sideways. Velocity to 1.17. Gravity to 0. In the particle panel, select Faded Sphere. Birth size to 0, death size to 1940. Max opacity to 13. Change the colors red and yellow in white. And in the camera panel, modify distance to 1.5. View the result. Let's go in the NucleoFX scene and change the opacity from 100 to 17. Put this layer in add mode. View the result. Okay, this animation is too fast. Back in the Horizon Particle pre-comp and stretch our animation of 500 frames. Select the layer and create a new pre-comp and rename with the suffix double time. Lengthen the stretch from 100 to 350. So, we slowed the speed of our particles. The particles must be present at 0 frame. Then we can choose a part to cut of the animation. I chose the frame 400 to 500. Improve the effect with a rectangular mask. With mask feather to 20. OK. Add an expression script to the particles to create a strobe effect. Copy the script from the text file and insert it on opacity with Alt key pressed. Wow! Very cool! To improve the color of the background, we create a circular black mask. Like in the video, we insert it over the second nucleo layer. Subtract mode. Mask feather to 600 pixel. View the result. Go to the project panel and rename NucleoFX in main animation. Drag main animation to create a new composition. Rename it Skyline Preview. We make this level 3D and insert the first keyframe on position. Let's go to frame 08 and insert another position keyframe. Return in the first frame and modify the Z position value to less 900. Let's go to frame 86 and insert another keyframe. Finally go into the frame 90 and modify the Z position to less 450. Insert CC radial blur effect. Straight zoom type, which will follow the position keyframe sequence. The first keyframe to 50, quality 100. The second and third, with a value of 0. In the last frame, with value 50. Add a new adjustment layer. We copy the CC radial blur sequence frames effect and paste them on the adjustment layer. Straight zoom type. We apply a glow effect. And in the effects panel, moves over the other effects. Enter the following: 20, 50, 0.5. Finally, we apply an levels effect. Modify the gamma from 1 to 0.30. In this adjustment layer, insert the first keyframe with value 100. In frame 8, 0. In frame 86, activate a 0 keyframe. And finally, in frame 90, keyframe with value 100. Rename the layer in and out zoom. OK, import the Photoshop Lens Flowers file. Drag in the composition, the layer Mega Lens Flowers. Add mode. And we make it a 3D layer. Go to the 0 frame and insert a keyframe on position with value less 2150. Let's go to frame 08 and insert the value 4950. Let's go to frame 02 and insert on opacity a keyframe with value 100. In frame 7, with 0 value, we repeat the same procedure at the end of the animation. In the last frame, the Z position value is less 2010 and opacity 100. See the result. If you want to make brighter the central nucleo, go back to personal lens flares and change the mask feather value as you like. We import the texture tag PNG. And drag under the lens flares layer. Add mode. Insert keyframes on opacity, following the previous scheme. We adapt the size of the texture with the command Alt-Command-F. Insert a keyframe on scale, with value 120. Activated on opacity, another keyframe with value 30. Let's go to frame 4, and change the opacity to 0. Let's go to frame 87 and activate a keyframe on opacity. At the end of our animation, we insert the value 20. View the result. We import a movie with an octagonal lens reflection. Go to Personal Lens Flare Composition and drag it over everything. We adapt the length video, changing the strict from 100 to 116. Position the video at the center of the scene. And apply an opacity from 15 to 10. You can add other reflexes as you like. To complete, we import the audio file and adapt the length of our videos. We make a render preview to see the final result. OK, to remove the purple glow, just reduce the initial part of lens flare. We add an adjustment layer. Apply hue saturation effect. To reduce the intensity color. On master saturation, we insert the value less 10. OK. Proceed with the rendering. Here is the result of our project. Wow, very nice. I show you the final settings I used to adjust the nucleo intensity and opacity of fractal ambient. You can use other settings to get the result you like. Okay guys, I hope this tutorial has been to your liking. In the next episode we'll see how to make a Jonah Hex movie title.